tank blitzers and hopefully a few future mumrads and Littlefinger. Here today we are talking about the Hetzer German Tier 4 tank destroyer. Really interesting tank to play with super good armor, fairly good mobility, and a really fun gun to play. Let's take a quick look at the tech tree. We'll see here up at the top there, we've just passed the Martyr to the Hetzer. This line then breaks off, and you can go up the Stug, J Panther, which is a great line. You can see here I have unlocked the Tier 10 E100. Have not purchased it yet, but I really enjoy the Jag Tiger there at Tier 9. Just from top to bottom, a really fun tree to pursue. Now, let's talk real quick here with the setup before I go into specifics about this tank. Repair kit, multi-purpose, adrenaline, provisions running standard fuel, chocolate bar, and protective kit. Ammunition, this tank does not carry a lot of ammunition here. You can see I've got it spread out pretty evenly. Don't use the heat that often, but you can see it's quite an increase there, 78 for the minimum penetration on it, compared to 48 for your standard AP round. And don't forget, you can always change your purchase of Pramo from gold to coins with that button right there. Equipment. Now, I'm running this not like a conventional TD sniping in the back with camouflage and binoculars, so I'm running this more as a frontline support TD. So that I've decided to go with the rammer, the enhanced gun lane drive, and the vents. Now all of this obviously helps with my rate of fire and improved aiming time, dispersion, so that is the reason that I've decided to run it this way. Let me just pull up the spreadsheet and we'll see how it compares to other tanks in the tier. Okay, so here's our new and improved spreadsheet. I've got the Hetzer highlighted. 440 hit points is right at the average. The 60 millimeters of hull armor is what makes this tank so much fun to play. You will get so many bounces off of that slope front, it's not even funny. But you can see here with the weight, engine horsepower, and speed, it is a little bit below average there, but it does make up for it a little bit with better than average traverse speed. You can see here the gun depression's not too bad there at -7 and raises up to 15. The tank will allow you to aim 5 degrees to the left and 15 degrees to the right without having to move the tracks, and which obviously resets your aiming time there. The terrain resistance is just about the same as all the other TDs in the class, so you're not going to see much difference as far as maneuverability. This Hetzer does come with two options for the guns. The gameplay that I'm going to show you is primarily in the 10.5 centimeter gun. I've got the 7.5 also displayed there. So just looking at the 10.5, you can see a lot of red there in the shell penetration. Although I didn't find too much trouble penetrating at the tier that I was playing at, so take that with a grain of salt. But the fun thing with this 10.5 is obviously 330 hit point damage on an average roll. Rate of fire is only 4 rounds per minute, which will give you a DPM of 1400. Obviously, that is a little bit above the average of some of the other tanks. The other gun there, you can see, is almost twice as fast with the shot, but you're getting half the damage. So you got to obviously be a lot more accurate, which can be difficult, and that is part of the reason why I like to play this more as a frontline brawler, especially with the armor. As long as you're careful not letting people get to the side or back of you, this is a really fun tank to play. So let's see it in action. Okay, first game here on Middleburg. You can see top tier two other tier 4s with me in this game, DW down here, and I'm going to call for the team to take the high ground. I think unless your team is made up of all heavies, you really want to take the high ground and work your way down. It is certainly a lot easier. But you can see our DW there has gone and into town. Obviously, I'm not a proponent of going solo. He's turned around and he looks like he started to come back. Our team has spotted these two D2s, so I'm going to push around here, and no one else has come up, so I'm going to use this hill here, get a shot in. You can see 350 damage, and as I'm reloading, I'm just going to back up and get behind this rock. So team takes out the DW after I did the majority of the damage there, and then you can see another big roll there, and we finish off the DW, and he bounced his shot off of me. So we've taken down the two guys that were on top of the hill. The rest went down by themselves, and you can see here another nice roll onto the side of the PZ4, and we take him out. Now I'm expecting all of the rest of their team to be on this side, so not too worried, and I get hit from the side and I get in the ammo rack, so it slows down my load, and then obviously as I'm backing out, I take another one from the side that I was aiming for. So took a couple big shots there, and that was my fault for extending a little bit too far over the ridgeline without knowing where the rest of their team was. I just made a bad assumption that they were all down in that corner. So since I know there's one down to the right, I'm going to go ahead and push on the guys on the left. Our T-28 has finally woken up, and of course then just decides to ram me for no reason. Can't expect much out of that guy. So I'm going to use this ridgeline here, aim for the lower plate on the DW, and get a nice 300 plus roll. And with this tank, you really want to keep your lower half under cover, because that is where you're the weakest. That was a pretty low roll there, 283 into the side of the PZB2. Yeah, I did have it on heat. T82 has no frontal armor, so I'm going to go ahead and put it over to HE and drop a shell on him, 240. So you can see how much fun this tank really is when you're dropping 300 hit points on somebody. So I'm going to get a little bit of payback here on the martyr that must have been onto that side. You can see here, full health martyr, HE into the side, 250 hit points. Now, word of warning with this tank, I don't know what it takes to get a mastery on it. This was close to 2,000 damage, and you can see it's only a level 2. So there's some really good players that know how to play this tank really well. Obviously I didn't help much with spotting or anything like that in this game, but you can see I did shoot every single tank. So let's take a look at another quick game. So the second game here is on Rock Field, and the team is going to push to the right. 9 times out of 10 seems like that's the way everyone goes. I just want to show you one little spot that I like to get in as a TD is right here. You can see that there was a tank to my right in that bush, and then that M3 has gone up to those two spots, which are the most popular, but you are fully exposed if you get spotted. This spot here gives you a shot all the way down that line, and then also allows you to pull back and get out of harm's way a lot faster than sitting up high on that ridge line. So we're going to go ahead and get a shot into that first T-28, and then drop one there. I think that was M3 Lee. And we're just being patient and waiting for tanks. Team is pushed up, so like I like to play this is more as a support heavy. So Gonna support those heavies as they push up. You can see here that shot landed mostly in the tracks, which is why I didn't get as good a roll. Should have aimed a little bit higher on that. Would have gotten more damage out of it. But nonetheless, we finish him off, and we are going to continue to push around here. The Covenanter is right there for me. I could probably get a nice roll with HE, but decided to switch to heat and get a nice ammo rack right there. Cruisers pushed around here, and I kind of rushed this shot. Kind of was moving to the left as I took it and missed. It was kind of a pain, so I dropped the adrenaline. I want to get the kill here. Know I can finish him with one shot. You can see the tank turns quite nicely. Does have pretty good speed, not great speed. The M8 was certainly a lot more mobile than this tank. And so we've got this game down to one lone player who's decided he's going to camp on the other side of the map all game. Go ahead and switch over to heat and drop a nice 300 points on him. He's going to drop off. It's too far for me to go and chase him, but I'll keep an eye on him just in case he comes around the ridge here. But he gets finished off before I get a chance to shoot. So we ended up with 3 kills. I think I took like 5 shots. So pretty good kill ratio there with the shots fired. So 1478. Can do some damage with this tank. Alright, here's another game on Middleburg. This time we spawn from the north side of this map. Again, I'm going to tell everyone to head up. Like I said before, I certainly think this map is a lot easier when you clear the hill first. So I'm kind of watching these guys drop off the side of the hill here. Just wondering how much support am I going to have off to my left, because obviously one of the things you really want to watch out for driving this tank is getting tanks on the side of you. Your armor is nowhere near as effective. So I'm just going to be patient and hope this guy comes around, and sure enough, look at that. Ammo rack, 560. Ruined his day. So now this medium, and obviously the long reload. I rushed that shot. Shouldn't have taken that, really. So we've got a B2 in our sights here. Go ahead and pop that shot off on him, and he bounces. M2's shooting heat at us and only doing 10 damage. Trying to find him here. Where is he? Oh yeah, there he is. 340. Goodbye. Staying behind this rock. It's really a key for you guys in your win rates, is just making sure map awareness, without a doubt. Just using these fixed objects to your advantage. Pop out, take a shot, and then hide back. Don't just sit there and trade shots. You really want to keep your hit points to the end of the game when you're really going to need them. And see here, we finished it off with another ammo rack. $1,500 damage, 3 kills, 5 shots. So your shot to kill ratio is going to be pretty high with this tank. So anyway, got one more game here. Let me pull that up. Okay, guys, one more game. This time, Falls Creek. Got a team of mostly mediums. I'm thinking they're all gonna go right, so off I go here, off to the right. And funny enough, they're all coming back and going a heavy alley, I guess, down the bridge. Nope, not going down the bridge. They're just gonna go straight down the stream here. Luckily for us, their team has decided to go up to the base there. Now, one of the things I read about this tank, someone said they only carry HE and heat. I thought that was rather strange because there's quite a few scenarios where you do need to shoot through a small shed or pile of wood or something, in which case you wouldn't be able to do that with the AP. And you can see there, thread the needle there, and ammo rack that poor little guy. And this is part of being a TD, is being patient, letting the map unfold. You can see here, the reason I've stayed in this spot is because I have this ridge line that I'm just peeking over. So bottom of the tank is protected. Obviously I've got the great armor on the top of the tank. Just got to worry about the sides. So stay map aware and don't let yourself get flanked. They've all sat here for the most part during this game, near the base. So figure that's where I'm going to push up and go ahead and get some shots in. Could have taken a shot here on the A32, but go ahead and decide to get the kill on the SU-85B. And we're going to keep pushing. Team's done well. They've only got 3 guys left. Waiting on this reload here and get a nice shot into the track. 300 damage. So we're just gonna push, which is one of the good things about this TD. You can get out there right in the middle of the battle, whereas some of these TDs, see, I just put a nice little heat shot into the top hatch there. Some of these TDs, you're just gonna get shot up. The Electos, you got no armor. You cannot play that tank the same way as you do this one. So while the damage wasn't high, we did have a few kills there. 3 kills, 800 damage. That was an all-around, I guess, a decent team. So you're not going to land a lot of shots with this gun, but you are going to dish out some serious damage at about 300, 330 per roll. So you see a lot of good players in this tank, and I think it's certainly a fun tank to drive. I would highly recommend it, and it's probably a keeper in my garage. So anyway, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe. Get educated. Definitely not fingered. Littlefinger out.